right, welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here.
Gabe, the Night Watchman.
And Gabe and I are here for yet another episode of Cricket Tuesday.
Excited for this one.
And I love because I think it was last week or the week before that, someone said, hey, you guys were a little more in sync this time, but it was still Gabe's fault. He messed it up. That was awesome. I loved that comment. That put a smile on my face. And Gabe, are you ready for this week's Cricket Tuesday reaction?
Dude, I'm super excited for this one. We're going to be looking at top 5, just, or it's a top 10. Oh, you're going to give me 10. I thought it was top 5.
No, 10 of them, baby.
Top 10. Most unbelievable moments in cricket, is it?
Or shocking moments. They're going to shock you. They're going to put your mouth on the floor, baby. Your chin on the floor, I should say.
So right now, off the top of my head, shocking moment. And you and I recently, well, not recently, just last year, I should say, saw the film and reacted to 83, right? That had to be a shocking moment when India, you saw in the press conference, and I'm sure it was a little bit, it was a little fictitious, right? Or not fictitious, but they probably took some liberties. But yeah, they were shocked when Kapil Dev is at that press conference and he's like, well, you know, what do you guys expect to do? He's like, we come to win. It's like, the World Cup. Like, that's got to be shocking for that India team to go out there and beat my West Indies with the 4 horsemen. All right. This was the glory days of the West Indies. All right. West Green, that just throwing bullets up there. Hold that, cousin. Mike Garner. I mean, bro, they were stacked. They were stacked. Holy Croft. Bro, they were absolutely stacked. And that had to be a shocking moment, Nick. So I'm sure that's got to be in this video. What's a shocking moment off the top of your head that you can think of in cricket history?
Well, the easy one, and it's not going to be here because this video is posted 2020. The easiest one is obviously the breach of the GABA, right? I mean, yes. And we've talked about that ad nauseum to where anyone that's not an India fan, they don't want to hear any more about that. So I get that. Honestly, talk about domestic and IPL. Like for me, I was shocked at how CSK bounced back after a really bad season, first season ever missing the playoffs, to go on and win the entire thing, right? And everyone, to Moeen Ali and Jadeja, everyone just played out of their minds. That was pretty shocking to me because I was loving tearing them apart, and they were able to do that. Seeing stuff like, we was getting thing, Dhananjaya, right? Give up 6 sixes and then getting a hat trick or a hat trick and then get up 6 sixes, whatever order it was. That was crazy to me, right? In USA beating Ireland, we saw that in person. That was pretty shocking to me as well. I think most of those happened afterwards. But those would be some of the first things I think about as far as most shocking moments.
Yeah, because think about it. USA is an associate nation, and to beat Ireland, a full test nation, that was a big one in and of itself. You know, the breach of the GABA, and you know, you got to get the history and the context, right? You can't. You need context to seriously examine anything. Here's some context, right? I recently saw and discovered that some of those matches at the GABA, bro. Australia's chest down 400. I think it was England or maybe South Africa. I can't remember. Went into the GABA, put up 400, and Australia chased it down. Which is why so many people understand that the breach at the GABA was just like, it was just wow. Like, you know what I mean? Like shock and awe. Just exactly. It's I mean, that's probably what it was right there. Just, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. But I'm excited to jump into this video. I'm sure that we were absolutely wrong. There'll probably be different moments on there, but so that's what I'm expecting. Before we do so, guys, little housekeeping. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on all social media platforms, Twitter, the Twitter, what do you call the other one?
Instagram. Yes.
Instagram, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Check that stuff out. Don't forget, like he said, like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And before we get into this video, we just wanted to disclaim we just watched it, and we want to let you know the very last clip does involve Phil Hughes, where it shows the entire incident. If you don't want to see it, go ahead and skip it right when we get to the last clip. And let's go ahead and see what is a cracking here on Cricket Tuesday, how shocking these moments are. And, you know, I listened to the first 3 seconds getting the video ready, and it looks like we're going to hear the voice of the cricketer, which is great. Put some great content out there. So let's see. Here we go.
What if I told you that the associate side Kenya once reached semi-finals of World Cup? They won 5 out of 9 matches in the tournament, beating teams like New Zealand, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. Sounds
Wow.
beyond
Jeez.
belief, but yeah, the cricket game is full of surprises and shocks. Legend beating a fan to death of some great players during the game. We have witnessed everything. Today, we have gathered some of the most shocking moments in cricket history, so please watch it till the end. Well, don't forget to like, share,
Wow.
and
Talk
comment your
about a
thoughts.
no ball. Jeez.
I don't know. That's pretty
Number 10,
close.
Inzamam beats Afan. In a test match back in 1997 between India and Pakistan, when the players were walking back to pavilion for tea break, one of the Indian fans abused Inzamam, which he could not tolerate and rushed towards him trying to beat him even with a cricket bat. The
Oh,
issue
Oh,
might have been more serious, but thanks to the security staff which pulled them over.
wow.
I think security did a poor job even letting the fan get to a player.
Oh,
Oh, oh, oh. And that's caught live on TV in a gentleman's game. That's crazy.
that's
Oh
like
my.
the
Number
Pacers,
9,
right?
Keegan Meth injury.
Hmm.
Med, who bowled the final over of the Bangladesh innings, was hit in the mouth by Nasir Hussein's full precision
Ooh.
shot of the very
Oh
last
my
ball of the
gosh,
match.
he's down and
He
out.
went down immediately in pain and had to
Oh
be stretched off the field with a bloodied
Yeah,
finger.
he lost
Med
two.
no,
was
no, no,
given
no!
a
Oh
medical
no! Oh,
Oh! We
attention.
the
saw the teeth come
choppers came
out.
out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no! What are they doing to me?
Number 8, Bancroft ball tampering. In
Yep.
March
Oh,
2018,
I
in the
thought
third
about that.
test between South Africa and
Ngidi.
Australia, Bancroft was
Look
spotted
at
by the
Rabada.
broadcasting cameras rubbing the ball with a yellow item. As soon as Bancroft realized that the cameras were on him, he put the yellow magic back inside his trousers. He
The
was
yellow
approached by
magic.
the umpires immediately, but nothing happened. After some investigations on the same day, he admitted that he was trying to
Wow.
check the condition of the ball with a sandpaper and confessed that one
Sandpaper Gate.
offense
How
was
did we
too
not
much
think
and
about
started
Sandpaper
round
Gate?
2, which resulted in a
Yeah.
1 year ban for each of them.
That was such a
Number
huge,
7,
shocking moment in cricket.
Bradman Dak on final test. Undoubtedly the
Yeah. We
greatest
reacted to that
batsman of
too.
all time after
Yes.
Umar Akmal. Just kidding. Needed just one run to retire with a
I was like,
career
wow.
average of 100. But by surprise, he was dismissed for a duck, which made him retire with 99.9. That is huge, isn't it? Modern day
Yes.
batsmen can't even maintain an average of over 60.
And those are some of the
Number
greatest right
6,
there.
underarm ball by Steve
Oh, here
Chappell.
we go.
Before
Underarm.
And the
Bancroft's ball tampering incident, the most controversial incident in Australian cricket history was Chappell's underarm ball. With New Zealand needing a six from the last ball to tie the match, Greg Chappell decided to order the underarm delivery to deny New Zealand any chance of tying the match. As a batsman, it's almost impossible
wow.
to hit an
He
underarm ball,
threw the
which
bat
resulted
like
in Australia
that's so
winning the
much
match and the
trash.
series by 2-1.
Wow.
The underarm ball was not against the rules at the time.
How
However,
is
it
that
was
not against the
illegal and
rules?
unsportsmanlike, same as
Because
man
he didn't
cutting.
bend his elbow
The incident resulted in
to
ICC
maintain.
Oh my
banning the
gosh.
underarm ball. By the
Okay.
way, what are your opinions on man cutting and
Oh,
underarm?
love it.
Tell us in the
Love
comment
it.
section below.
Man
Sorry,
catting
Number
is
Joss.
5,
legit.
Sunil Gavaskar's slow innings in World Cup. In the very first match of Cricket World
36
Cup
off
back in
174.
1975,
Take that,
when
Pujar.
England set a
He
target
said,
of
hold my beard,
325 for
Pujara.
India, the legendary opener shocked everyone the way he played. He played until the end but just made 36 of 174 deliveries. I think someone should have reminded him that it's a one day, not a test match. Eventually, India lost that match
Seriously.
by 201 runs.
Oh,
Number
wow.
4, Pakistan team
This is-
spot fixing.
It says
In
it's a 1 day
2010, in a
match.
test match between England and Pakistan in the home of cricket, Mohammad Amir was caught red handed on spot fixing. Skipper Sajent Majid admitted that he was approached by the bookies and were paid €150,000 to bowl three no balls in specific overs.
I knew
England
it.
Wow.
got 5-year-old ban for two
Wow.
promising fast bowlers, Mohammad
Match
Amir and Mohammad
fixing.
Asif, and a
Mhm.
10-year-old ban on the skipper Salman Bad himself.
Yeah, I have heard about
Number
this. I
3,
forgot about it
Afridi
though.
ball tampering. Afridi, who was
Yeah, his
captain of
mouth
Pakistan, was
like an
caught on
apple.
TV cameras apparently biting the ball on a couple of occasions.
That
This
is
was
hilarious.
umpires, but the
At least
team
it's not
yelled. After
sandpaper.
a chat with
Look, he's
Afridi,
yelling
the
at the
umpires
umpire.
changed the ball. He was banned
What
for
are you
3
talking about?
matches by ICC, and later on, in one of his interviews, he admitted that I just wanted to help my bowlers and win a match. Hmm, it's not
Wow.
the right way to help your bowlers. Number 10, Fire in
Oh,
Eden Gardens. Chasing 252, India
Eden Gardens.
slammed to 120 for 8 after a dramatic collapse during which 7 wickets fell for just 22 runs. That
people just
was
stand
too
around it.
much for the
No
huge
big deal.
crowd who began throwing bottles on the field and setting
Oh,
fires in the stands. Match referees took the teams off the field for 15 minutes to try and let the crowd cool down. But an attempt to restart the match did not work, and the referee awarded the game to Sri Lanka by default. The Sri Lankans went on to beat Australia and left their first ever ODI World Cup.
wow.
Number
That's
9,
great.
Wow.
Phil Hughes death. It's one of the
Phil
most tragic
Hughes, yeah.
Yeah,
deaths ever in cricket. Phillip Hughes was the victim of
absolutely.
an incredibly rare injury. He was struck by a bouncer from New South Wales bowler Sheena Ball. Though Hughes was wearing a helmet, but the ball struck at an unprotected area. He collapsed before receiving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and he was immediately taken to hospital, where he
Did not.
underwent
I never wanted to
surgery
see it,
and
and
was
I didn't even
removed
think
from
about it, but
induced coma.
they just
He
showed it.
later passed away. May his soul rest.
Sorry if you didn't want to relive the Phil Hughes situation.
We'll
I
put a like a disclaimer in the
definitely didn't
notes.
want
You know
to.
what I mean? We'll put a
Yeah,
disclaimer like in the what do you call it? Just to let people know, hey, at number one videos, obviously Phil Hughes, we weren't prepared for it. We didn't know that's what he was going to put there. I was thinking
no,
something different from shocking, like amazing things. Most of these were like shocking, like bad things, other than, of course, what I was thinking USA beating Ireland. Well, here's Kenya beating some big boys. They said New Zealand. They said, so that's what I thought by shocking, not, but we should have thought about Sandpaper getting stuff like that and the Phil Hughes. Um, with that being said, Nick, there has been some crazy moments there in cricket, and I think the one that stands out the most for me is the two. Obviously, it was the batter trying to attack the fan with the bat, and it's kind of like, listen, first and foremost, security did a poor job. And I often think you see fans run on the field and you see them get the players. That's a poor job. You got to make sure you protect these players because you don't know what these fans have snuck in the stadium. And even if nothing, you know what I'm saying? You still have to protect the players. You saw in the one video that we did where MS Dhoni once it was like MS Dhoni being just MS Dhoni and having heart. And there's the one kid coming and he somehow gets past the fans and or security and he's like up on Dennis MS Dhoni and hugging him and all that crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And MS Dhoni's kind of like playing with him. Like you gotta do a better job if you are a security officer at a cricket grounds. And I thought that was a poor job. With that being said, no matter what a player says to you, no matter what a fan says to you as a player, you got to contain yourself. All right. Ron Artest probably caused one of the ugliest scenes you've ever seen in professional sports here in America, where he was, again, fans were brutalizing him, but that's why you get paid. All right. You get paid a lot of money. Fans are going to get upset. They're going to get aggravated. And from that perspective, you know, fans should control themselves, but you're a professional athlete. You are held to a higher standard. And the guy yelled at Ron Artest or threw a beer at Ron Artest. Ron Artest lost his mind. He went up the stands, beat the brakes off this dude. All of a sudden, a full-blown riot breaks out. Check it out online. Ron Artest. It was the Indiana Pacers versus, I can't remember the other team. It might have been like Miami Heat or something to that effect. But it was ugly. It was Boston Celtics, I think. It was one of the ugliest things we've ever seen in professional sport. A lot of suspensions and stuff. So it reminds me of that. And then, of course, the match fixing. And somebody had mentioned that Pakistan one time I got busted for match fixing. But I hadn't seen the video. Now I saw it. Wow, that's just absolutely blatant. 3 of them, 3 no balls like that. And
yeah,
guys, people are going to say, there goes Gabe with his conspiracy theories. Listen, bottom line is athletes are humans. And athletes make mistakes and athletes have vices and especially back in the day, like Nick, there was a time when and that where players would get $200 for a test match, $200 to play a 5-day test match. Really? That's not a hard thing to do. If I'm a bookie, listen, make sure that when you go out there you get pumped. Here's $2,000. Here's $20,000. If I know the match is going my way, I can just fix that match and I'm going to make 10 times that amount. So
yeah.
it's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing when players aren't duly compensated, because if players have any vices that can be exploited, they will be. And I still contest that in American sports, players are one issue, but umpires are another. And umpires, at least one, has gotten caught here, an NBA official, for match fixing. But how about you, Nick? Which one stood out to you other than the Don Bradman one? Not Don Bradman, excuse me. The Hughes one. And like I said, we never actually wanted to see it, even though they were told us many times. Like, it just, we reacted to a tribute to him, but we never actually wanted to see it. And we finally saw it. We weren't expecting it, and it was just like, oh man. But which one stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, the spot fixing one, that one's just tough. You know, that one's tough, especially who they say the skipper was like knew about it. Like, that's just, or maybe the captain, the manager. I'm not sure. I think of skipper, I think of manager. Maybe they meant the captain, but Salmon. But I mean, that one's really, really tough. I definitely didn't want to see the Phillip Hughes one, because that's just sad and tragic. It's nobody's fault. It's just an unfortunate tragedy, is what it is. But there's a lot of shocking one. You're right. I didn't think it was going to go that way. I thought it was going to be like these historic feats that they were able to achieve, or this or that. The fans burning in the stands, right? The stuff, not the fans burning themselves, but burning stuff in the stands. Yeah. I think they said that was in Sri Lanka, and that, if that's true, that ended up benefiting Sri Lanka, because they were in the lead when they couldn't continue the match. I want to apologize to all Sri Lanka fans. It was the Indian fans there in India who were upset at a collapse by the Indian team losing 7 quick wickets and decided to throw water bottles and set things ablaze. You're talking about the Ron Artest thing. If I know Netflix is not the same internationally, but if you have Netflix, there's a series called Untold Story. Check it out. They talk about the entire thing. It's a whole episode on the fight there where the players go in. It's really interesting. There's another one of the same series where it talks about how college basketball player got involved with making sure that he can get the scores to a certain spread so that the bookie can make money and so that he can make money. And it's just, these things happen. And when these things happen, it kills me, because I know Gabe's going to use it for the next 10 years as fodder to justify his conspiracy theories. But this was a great video. I mean, there was a lot. We got narration from cricketer, but there's a lot of stuff in there that either forgot about it or I didn't know about it. But I mean, it's black eyes on the sport for sure.
Dude, I think the one that it was more, dude, that ball coming right back at him and knocking out his teeth. You saw it in slow motion, and you saw the teeth falling down in slow motion. That clip just, and you know, Trey was a pitcher, okay, all through youth baseball and high school. And one of our biggest fears was him taking a comebacker, because there's a reality. You just cannot react quick enough. That ball usually exits 10 miles faster than it goes in. And it's just boom, blink of an eye, man. And to take it directly to the mouth like that. Honestly, he was lucky though, because if it had hit him in his head, temple, whatever, hit him in his eye, he could have lost an eye. Like, you know what I mean, Nick? But man, it destroyed his chomp. Oh, you know, one thing, it's funny. One thing that in baseball, right, you see nowadays, you see infielders wearing mouth guards. You'll see them chewing on the mouth guard like the NBA players or whatever. And Trey was wearing a mouth guard playing shortstop. And a lot of times you'll take a nasty hop with a ball, come up, and it'll come up and hit you in the mouth. It happens or whatever. So, you know, guys like, look, I'm going to protect the property. You know what I mean? I'm going to wear the mouth guard. Pitchers still refuse to do it because it somehow takes away, you know, it shows that you're afraid of that ball coming back at you. You can't give an inch. If you're a pitcher, you cannot watch professional sports, even the high school sport. I've not yet seen one pitcher wear the mouth guard. Infielders, you see it all the time. They're chewing on it. They play it. They take it out. They're playing with it. But pitchers, they're on that mound. They pretend like that, but it doesn't even cross their mind that ball could come back at them. No, I'm throwing a strike, and I guess that's the way you have to be, because once you start getting in your mind, then you start maybe alternating your delivery to try to make sure you get out of the way of the ball coming back at you, and then, you know, you're not performing at your best.
It's terrifying. I played Little League Baseball. That was as far as I went as a kid. But I can't remember what it was, but there was a situation where I was just pitching. I think I was helping out with practice. I don't know what it was. And we're talking about kids, right? Teenagers or whatever. and you just stand there, and I'm like, can I get that little gate thing that protects me, like you see in the home run derby? Like, and that was like nothing. These guys are throwing 100 miles per hour, getting hit back at 130 miles per hour. No, thank you. That's just terrifying. And the bowlers, the same situation. They're coming in, and they're even more unprotected because they're slowing their run up, right? So they're actually decreasing the space between them and the batter. And you're right, that guy right there. I mean, what can you do about it? These men and women that play these sports that close to balls being hit that hard. I know. The immature people are in the comment section. I get what I just said, but that's just dangerous right there. But this was a great video. Thanks for tuning in for Cricket Tuesday this week. Let us know what you want us to check out next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
That's 6 runs.